Hey guys, so how you doing? Bernard Reilly with Success with Bernard. This is my network marketing YouTube channel. So anybody who knows me, my backstory is quite simply, I'm a professional DJ. In fact, I've got YouTube channels with over 100,000 subscribers on. I play music and I'm fortunate that I get to travel all over the world. But the reason I do network marketing is because DJing doesn't have a pension scheme associated with it. So I want to have money there for later in life and also to create a legacy for my kids. Also, I've got enough time. I'm not doing gigs all the time. So I probably do a couple a week, but that gives me plenty of time to do something else. And I like helping people, and network marketing is incredible business in that the way that you get to the top is by helping others succeed, which really appeals to my kind of personal philosophy and values. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. So quickly, what I wanted to talk to you today about was one of the key things that most people miss with their network marketing business, which is just structure. All right. So we have a saying in our team that if you treat your network marketing business like a business, it will pay you like a business. You treat it like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. So if you're going to treat your network marketing business like a business, doesn't mean that you have to do lots and lots of hours every week. You can do it very part-time. However, what you can do is to get the most out of that time, be the most productive and professional person you can be, is to structure that time. So a classic example, for example, there's a lot of examples there, would be that you could deliberately set up appointment slots, which are kind of the same slots every week. So your availability can be the same every week. Does that make sense? So, for example, you could say Tuesday night at 6 and at 8, I'm available to speak to either team members or new people who might be interested in getting involved in my business or using the services. So lots and lots of people fail to do that. And what they do, they have a calendar that's kind of loosey-goosey. So if they get a prospect, the problem is when you don't have that structure in place, people kind of go into panic mode. So, they get a whiff from somebody that they might be interested in hearing what they do. And then automatically they go into panic mode because they don't know their own availability. And actually you can miss opportunities, because if you know in the back of your mind when you are always available to handle your appointments, then you have a great opportunity to say, right, Tuesday, this time, you can quickly lock people down and get them into appointments with you. So Punchman's on here, looks like a bit of a troll, to be fair. Jane, hi, how you doing? Marcus is on here, bless you. Yeah, we've got quite a few people on. So that's basically what I want to talk to you about. So whatever business you're doing, if you've got a business at home, whether you're doing something like network marketing, which I do, or whether you've got your own business, I would say this, that you want to kind of managing it like you're going off to work. You want to have that approach where you have a structured approach to running what you do. So when you're at home, especially if you're doing a home-based business, maybe you're doing it around your family, maybe you're doing it around caring for somebody. The problem is, if you don't have structure in place, then other people will eat into your time, and it's easy for issues of life, like the washing machine might need repairing, to eat in what you're doing. But if you structure what you're doing and you say, okay, between this time and this time every day I'm doing my business, then it stops other people getting involved, kind of distracting you and taking you away from what you want to do. So and as you can see on social media, there are plenty of distractions there. So in terms of outreach for your business, I would say use channels and platforms where you don't get sucked into things like doom scrolling, long debates with people. When anything to do with social media, I avoid putting lots of opinionated stuff up on there. I would put things about business and how to grow your business and how to improve your mindset. But there's lots and lots of numpties on social media. You never knew what your auntie was really about until you looked at her Facebook posts. All right, so I would avoid getting into anything controversial. It's not to say that we can't have passions and beliefs and that, but we don't have to share them with the world for them to be valid. All right, we can just do our own thing. Okay, so yeah, getting your business organized, having structure in your business. Do you have a calendar? Do you have appointment setting systems? So I use Google Calendar. Google Calendar has an app associated with it called Tasks. So you can YouTube that. You can do a YouTube search, and that is extremely helpful because you can build a pipeline of contacts. So say you have a discussion with somebody today, and they're not quite ready, or they need a few weeks, or you need to get back to them in 6 months. In Tasks, you can set that up as a reminder, and it comes back to you. And the good thing about Tasks is it's completely free to use. You can access it from your desktop. You can also access it from a mobile device as well. So it's really, really flexible, really, really easy to use. In terms of booking appointments, structure again, I use an app called Calendly. It's very, very good. With Calendly, you can connect it to things like Zoom or Microsoft Meetings, Teams, things like that. And essentially, if somebody can pick and choose a date and a time that you make available that suits them, and it will automatically set up the meeting for you. They have got a free version of it. I use a paid version. It's about $15, and that will actually send them reminders as well. So they'll get a text, they'll get an email, just reminding them that they've got, they've got appointments. Marcus says, I use Calendly with Zoom, definitely has helped my business. Absolutely. And also, because if you set up specific slots when you're available, you can then factor that into your goals, if you like. So with most businesses, a good approach to take is to say, if I do the activity, the results will follow. All right, so it's not a bad credo to live by. So let me give you an example of that. It could be that if you need to speak to a certain amount of people, typically you'll earn a certain amount of money, or you'll get a new customers or new team members, then you can structure that into your business. So you can say, okay, if I need to speak to 10 people a week on average, then you can diarize that, and you can use tools that will help you structure that and set aside time for it. So you're kind of doing things deliberately as opposed to doing it in a haphazard way. All right. So yeah, that's what I would say about structure. So I structure everything I do. I use as much automation as I can possibly use, and I use as many tools as I can possibly use. There are a couple of rules that I live by. One, everything I do has to be 100% duplicatable, so I can teach it to my nan. All right, it's got to be really, really simple. So I try not to use overcomplicated systems. If people want to input something manually, a system that I use, if they just want to use a notepad and pen to use that kind of system manually, then they can do it. So duplication is a massive thing. And then the other thing is kind of low cost as possible. So any technology I use, it's either free or it's extremely low cost. And again, that's part of duplication. If I want other people in my team to use it, or I want to show clients or other people how to use it, I don't want to burden them with costs. I want them to be able to follow it easily. So my main tools are, I use Google Calendar because I can access that from my my laptop, my desktop, and my iPad. I can access it from my phone. I use Calendly, which is linked to my Google Calendar, and I use Zoom, which is linked to both of those. All right. I also use Google Tasks, which is linked to Calendly and to Google Calendar. So it's a nice little ecosphere, if you like, and everything's dead simple. I can set up appointments, I can set up reminders, and I can just keep track of what I'm doing. All right. Last thing to say about structure is, when it comes to reaching out and making new conversations with people, it's always good to use trackers. All right. So it's always good to, first of all, have a simple way of doing that. So don't, for example, use a multitude of platforms to reach out to people. So a good place to start is to A to Z your phone. Where's my phone gone? I've moved my phone. But something that's really clever is just to get your phone, start at A, go through to Z. Most of us have got dozens and dozens of numbers in our phone that we haven't called for ages. Sometimes we don't even know who the person is. We can just ring them up and say, hi, you're in my phone. I'm just trying to reconnect and remember who we are and start a conversation. And I did an exercise with my team, which you can do with yours. Here's my phone. I got people to work out how many names and numbers they got in their phone book, and most people had got hundreds and hundreds of names. Okay, there was a few people got a very small kind of contact list, but some people got well over 1,000 people in their phone book. So it's not humanly possible to remember everybody's name and who they are. So you can A to Z your phone, and with most people that'll take a month or two if they do a few calls, 5 or 6 calls a day. And they get through their phone, and by the end of it they will have found some people who are potentially interested in being clients or customers or even joining the team. So that's a great thing to do. And then just keep track of things. Like I say, I use for follow-ups, I use Google Tasks, but you can even do things on a spreadsheet. You can just get an A4 diary, you can get a notepad and just keep a list of who you've spoken to and when, because I promise you, as you get a bit more industrious and you've done reach out and you've spoken to people, you will forget who you've spoken to. All right, down the line, you will forget who you've spoken to. So listen, I'm a network marketing coach. I'm on here. I'm just sharing some simple things you can do. Generally, if you come onto YouTube, what people are trying to do is they're trying to sell you a program, and most of them want you to get start using funnels, and they actually want you to start selling their programs. With me, there's no agenda. All right, it is what it is. So I hope this has helped somebody. Please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I'll do some more of these. Until next time.
You in a meeting? Or are you just filming yourself?